Have you ever stopped to think about how intelligent machines, well, how they're quietly changing things,
Yeah.
especially something as vital as your own health? Today, we're doing a deep dive into a really fascinating, fast-moving area, artificial intelligence in medicine.
Absolutely. And our mission here really is to unpack all the different ways AI is transforming healthcare. We'll look at, its surprising history right up to the cutting edge stuff happening now. We've looked at some great sources. And the point is, this isn't just theory, it's real world impact, stuff that's probably going to affect you.
Okay, let's trace that journey then. The whole idea of intelligent machines, it's captured our imagination for centuries, hasn't it? In stories, designs. And it might surprise you, the word robot itself, it actually comes from Czech. Robota means forced labor. It popped up in Karel Capek's 1921 play, R.U.R., and way before that, think about Yan Shi's humanoid in 3rd century China, or al-Jazari's little symbol-playing robot back in the 12th century. The idea's been around.
Right, and you could draw a line from there, sort of, to Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
His 1495 sketches of a night robot.
Yeah.
They actually inspired NASA researchers much, much later. And that legacy, it lives on very directly today with the Da Vinci surgical system. Got FDA approval back in 2000. It's pretty amazing, really. Over 5,000 of them out there now globally. They help surgeons perform really complex, minimally invasive stuff, prostatectomies, gynecologic surgeries. Still controlled by a surgeon, of course, but incredibly precise.
So yeah, we've gone from these early mechanical figures to, well, incredibly sophisticated surgical tools. And speaking of key moments, the term artificial intelligence, that was John McCarthy in 1955. And the field was kind of officially born at that Dartmouth College conference in 56. We saw early things like William Gray Walter's Machina Speculatrix in 48 showing complex behaviors from simple parts. And who can forget Deep Blue beating Gary Kasparov in 97? Big milestones.
Exactly. And if we bring this back to medicine today, AI generally splits into two main branches, you could say, virtual and physical. The virtual side is heavily into machine learning. It's giving a massive boost to discoveries in genetics, molecular medicine, things like that. For example, ML can now predict really complex protein structures just from how proteins interact. That speeds up drug discovery immensely. Then there are multi-agent systems, MES. They're being used, for instance, to manage chronic mental health conditions. What's fascinating is how they tailor things to the individual patient dynamics. They seem to increase how well medication works and remarkably lower cost, too.
That's incredible. So the system learns the patient, essentially, creates a dynamic plan. What's the biggest hurdle to getting that kind of personalization more widespread, do you think? And still on the virtual side, electronic health records, EHRs, we hear a lot about those. Huge potential, right? Identifying hereditary risks, helping doctors make better decisions. But we really need to break down those data silos, the incommunicable bits of information, and integrate all that omics, data genomics, proteomics, get the full picture. It's a massive challenge, but it feels critical.
Oh, definitely. Integrating that data is absolutely key. And another, maybe surprising, virtual application. Psychotherapeutic avatars. Softbots? Kind of inspired by movies, like James Cameron's, believe it or not. And they're used in some really striking ways, like pain control for kids with cancer. The kids even nicknamed the avatar their pain body. It helps them externalize it. And some studies show they're actually better than humans at picking up suicidal tendencies in young people. There are even systems where people interact with an avatar of their persecutor to manage paranoid hallucinations. It sounds strange, but it can help. These avatars, they represent a big shift. Scalable, non-judgmental support, sometimes maybe even more effective support, opens up huge possibilities for accessible mental health care, elderly care, home monitoring too.
Wow, the idea of an avatar being potentially more effective, that's something. Is it the lack of judgment, you think? Or just consistency? Okay, so that's the virtual world. Moving to the physical, things we can actually, touch. You hear about care bots, companion robots for the elderly. Japan seems quite advanced there.
Yes, and the Da Vinci system we talked about earlier is a prime example of physical AI in action, enabling those precise surgeries. We're also seeing robots that assist surgeons or even perform certain surgical tasks autonomously. And a really unique application is how some robots can communicate with and actually teach autistic children. They offer kind of patient, consistent interaction that can be incredibly beneficial.
Imagine that. And thinking about tiny physical things, nanorobots. That sounds like pure sci-fi, but it's real. They're tackling tricky problems like drug delivery, especially getting drugs into tumor cores that don't have many blood vessels. Low oxygen areas. Researchers are actually using a type of marine bacteria, Magnetococcus marinus. It naturally seeks out low oxygen zones, so they load it with drug-filled nanoliposomes and guide it right to those hypoxic parts of a tumor. They've shown it significantly boosts the drug concentration right where it needs to be.
It's truly incredible stuff. These advances, from surgical robots to these nanobots navigating inside us, they really change how we interact with healthcare. But, as machines get more human-like, it brings up questions. Comfort levels, acceptance. That brings us to the uncanny valley idea Maury talked about back in 1970, where robots that are almost human but not quite can seem eerie, even off-putting. And then there are the bigger fears, right? Stephen Hawking worried back in 2015 that AI could, well, eventually pose an existential threat, or just the general unease about AI getting smarter than us.
Right. So what's the takeaway for us? For the person navigating their health, it sounds like we need to sort of get past some of these fears and maybe prejudices. The path forward seems to involve clear ethical rules, doesn't it? And making sure these tools aren't just for fancy Ivy League medical institutions, but accessible to everyone, making them open source, user-friendly, and really proving they work in the clinic. Rigorous testing.
Exactly. And it all points towards that ultimate goal of truly personalized medicine. You see platforms emerging like Takashi Kito's MyFinder, integrating AI and genomics for future healthcare. Just think about the sheer amount of data we generate now from patient records, from wearables. It's all there. That data, combined with AI, is set to completely reshape how healthcare is designed, tailored right down to your individual needs, your habits, even your genes.
So here's something to think about as we wrap up. As AI keeps evolving, how might you prepare? Prepare for a future where your own health journey is shaped more and more by these intelligent machines. Machines that learn and adapt not just to your body, but maybe even your behaviors, your genetic code. It's a profound shift that's already underway.